In this lesson, I'll show you 4 examples on how to divide polynomials by a monomial. Question 1 reads, divide each expression. In question A, we have 6x to the power of 3 minus 3x squared, and that's being divided by 3x. The monomial is 3x, and what we will do is distribute this 3x to the two terms above. So 6x to the power of 3 is over 3x minus 3x to the power of 2 over 3x. Let me show you. So you have 6x to the power of 3 over 3x minus 3x squared over 3x. At this point, you're going to use the exponent laws, namely the quotient rule. X to the power of 3 over x, we subtract 3 minus the exponent 1. That's x to the power of 2. 6 divided by 3 is 2 as well. So this term becomes 2x to the power of 2. What about this term? 3 divided by 3 is 1, so minus 1, and x to the power of 2 divided by x is simply x. There's no need for this coefficient of 1, although if you leave it, it doesn't create any harm. Next, we have 8x squared minus 4x plus 4 divided by 2x. Let me rewrite this in a similar way to what was seen in question A. We have 8x squared minus 4x plus 4, and we'll divide each of these terms by 2x, 2x, and 2x. Let's start with the first term. 8 divided by 2 is 4, and x to the power of 2 over x is 4x. Minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. X over x gives you x to the power of 0, which is 1. Therefore, we only write down minus 2. 4 divided by 2, once again, is positive 2 this time. And the x was at the bottom. So we have to write down 2 over x. There was not another x up here for it to go away. Let's move on to question 2. Once again, this is not written in fraction form, so we can do that to begin. We have 4xy over 16. Think of this as your denominator, or your divisor, minus 8x squared y over 16xy plus 3xy squared over 16xy minus 2x squared y squared over the same denominator. Let's start with this one. 1 over 4 is equal to a quarter. X over x is nothing, and y over y is nothing. Technically ones, so we end up with 1 over 4. For this term, 8 over 16 is a half. X to the power of 2 over x is x. And y over y is 1, so we don't write that down. You can write this x as the numerator, where you have x over 2, but this will work as well. In other words, you could have written this as x over 2, and it means the same thing. For this term, we have 3 over 16. That doesn't reduce. We'll just leave it as 3 over 16. X over x, this cancels out. Y to the power of 2 over y, this cancels out with one of these. And finally, for the last term, we have 1 over 8. This x cancels out with one of these. This y cancels out with this y. None of these are like terms, so you're done. In question B, which serves as the last question in this video, we have r to the power of 4 s to the power of 3 over negative r squared s minus r squared s squared over negative r squared s plus r to the power of 4 s to the power of 2 over negative r squared s. Starting with the first term, we have 4 r's up here. This becomes a 2, and we have 2 here. This becomes nothing. So this cancels out. One of these cancels out with this s, leaving us with negative r squared s squared. Here we have these two negatives side by side. You don't need to write down these negatives. It can become a plus instead. The two r's cancel out since the exponents are the same. And one of these s's cancels out with the one at the bottom. So you're left with simply s. Plus minus, that makes a negative. R to the power of 2, these two cancel out with 2 of these. This cancels out with one of these. There are no like terms among these three terms, and that's it. That is how to divide polynomials by a monomial.